How long has it been since you were at Brooksby?
So three years, is that
3 years, yeah,
4 years?
just finished
Yeah,
uni 3 years.
3 years.
Wow, time flies. So, did you sort of learn anything at Brooksby which made you think, do you know what, I really want to go into performance analysis? It sounds great what you've been doing at Barnsley and Sheffield United.
Yeah. So part of Michael, I did the sport and exercise science diploma. So part of that was part of a module was analysis from there, and then learning from an actual applied analyst who'd worked at Sheffield United as well. Quite fortunately, I was kind of introduced to that side of the football and the side of sports science, which I probably wouldn't have been introduced if I hadn't taken this pathway. So I think that was really beneficial, having someone with like actual experience in industry, um, yeah, to just like look over me and tell me, what it's actually like. And obviously now I've been through it myself, and I know kind of what it's actually like and what to expect in the future.
Great. We've actually since invested in, you'll know this, Huddle Sports Code.
Yeah, yeah, I
We've
think
invested in that, so you're always welcome to come and do a guest lecture on on that. We've got Knack Sport as well, which I think you will have used when you
yeah, I've used that as part of my university course as well. So
talk to us about the work that you've done at Barnsley and Sheffield United then since leaving Brooksby.
yeah, so I was fortunate enough to work with like all, up to 23s down to all the way to the under nines in at Sheffield United. So I would methods in like take it recording footage, gets used in all different types of camera equipment and things like VO cameras, scanning cameras, and learn how to use like high masts and whatnot. And then being in meetings and being part of the like I said earlier, the ecosystem of the video and how it progresses from pre-match, to in-game stats and how they're recorded, and then the post-match and how we progress and learn, especially in the youth development phase, and how you can push those people up into first year football and pro contracts and whatnot.
If we sort of think about your time at Brooksby, what did you enjoy about it? How did you find it at Brooksby?
Yeah, so I think I was quite, as a person, quite practical in that way, and I think I needed a push through a practical route to get my head and my foot in the door into like academia. So I felt like I needed to have like a practical route, which sounds kind of strange, but that's how I think I did that, and that's what allowed me to get into university and allowed me to enjoy writing like critically and enjoy writing reports and stuff like that. So yeah, so part of the part of the course that I enjoyed was doing that and being like so hands on, and having like at the time like Tigers and Mansfield were there, so I was able to do like applied studies at a college level, which not many other places or my friends would do that, and I was able to like do a mini study and things like that on these athletes, which kind of like simulates like a real applied environment, which kind of like makes you think like, wow, this is what I could do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we haven't got Mansfield Town based with us, as you will be aware now, but
Yeah,
we are quite lucky in that sense that we can have our students work with Leicester Tigers. We have Future Elite Academy based with us now, so the students can get hands-on work experience, which is what you talked about there. How did you feel supported when you were at Brooksby? How did you feel in that regard?
yeah, no, I did, especially because it's from where I lived as well. It's quite far out, and it was quite sometimes I was there like all day and stuff, doing a lot of things, and I had a tutor at the time, Philippa. She was really good, and she was supporting me the whole way of getting into university, because at some points I wasn't sure if I wanted to be there, wanted to be there long term, or wanted to go to university at all. But she kind of pushed me to do that, and obviously I'm really thankful for that. And all the staff at the time were like so friendly with me, and they were with all the students. So it kind of one put you at ease, one let us. It kind of like simulated like a. Now I know that it kind of simulates like a university kind of style and how it was ran, and I think that was really good, because it was kind of not laid back, but it was open, and like it was quite free to do learn how you wanted to learn. And you don't have teachers, you have lecturers, so that kind of format, I think, gets you ready for that next step. So it's a real funnel course, I think, into what I've done now, which is obviously BSc in sport and exercise science.
And we sort of spoke about facilities previously, didn't we? How
Yeah.
did you feel the facilities supported your learning?
Well, one, we could play football all year round on the 3G, 4G pitches, which was class. And then, getting in the labs and having that performance suite like gym set up, things like the watt bikes and whatnot, they were class for just doing, if we were learning about something in the classroom, literally next door was a gym. So, someone says, "Oh, what's this movement?" Well, right, cool. And then we'll get in there and, you're doing a squat with a barbell or something like that, or that, that kind of interlocking environment was good. And it made things a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's something that we try and do, underpin practical as much as possible. And obviously, you've taken one of the routes that we've offered in terms of the analysis side. We've recently just revalidated our degree program at Brooksby. So what we do now is in our degree program after the FE, students can go on the foundation degree, which was the same when you were with us, but we can split in the BSc year and the final year. They can either go off and do strength and conditioning with us if they want to, but also coaching and performance analysis. They can do that pathway as well. Tell us a little bit about the staff at Brooksby, your experiences with the staff.
Yeah, so all the staff, like I said at the time, we had quite a small group when I first came to Brooksby, and we got on quite well with a lot of the lecturers there. Individually, Alex Delves really helpful to me and really showed me the analysis industry as a whole, as well as Nathan as well. And they kind of showed us what it's like to be working in analysis, and showed us different softwares like NAC Sport and I think Dartfish at the time. And they were really friendly, and like I think I touched on earlier, they were industry based, applied industry knowledge which they had was so critical in I wasn't just writing a report. I was writing a report for a football team or for a rugby team or for a strength and conditioning coach or a head coach or something like that. So it's that kind of applied method was really beneficial for me, and I found that now I've been at university as well. And having different kind of sporting disciplines. So Connor at the time, we talked about Connor. He was like a weightlifter. So get him in the gym, and we was shown exactly perfect form and exactly that we did how to do things. And then we had like Philippa looking at the coaching side. That was for my module that I had with Philippa. Working with different populations, special populations as well, which is brilliant to learn about. I actually got a sport leaders level 2 qualification through doing that, through that little module, which is class, to be honest. So yeah, and then obviously yourself, having yourself, it was good. And having people to look to, as staff that have been footballers, being pro athletes, are still playing now, have been at the elite level of sport and have worked in that. That kind of is like, hold on, I could do that as well if I, get my head down and listen to them.
So what's next? What's next for you? So you've finished uni, right? You've completed studies now?
Yeah, completed my studies now, still waiting on my grade classification. So that should be around at the end of June. But yeah, so hopefully I might do I'm looking to do a master's degree in either sports psychology or sports analysis. I'm still on the fence at the minute, but I'm just going to wait for a couple more things to look at and decide on that. And yeah, so hopefully moving on from that, I could be a sports practitioner myself and maybe go into academia or something like that in the future. I don't quite know this yet, but I know I want to do a master's, and I know I want to do it in analysis or psychology. It's just which one. So these decisions will probably be made, over the next couple of weeks.
Why would you come and study at SMB College Group, what you knew as Brooksby?
Yeah, I chose a BTEC because it was practical based, and that's what I wanted to do. And I knew, I mean, just to list all the things I've always said, like the facilities with class, getting to work with, actual athletes and people that are striving to be high performance athletes, facilities, where it is, like the beautiful grounds. I mean, that sounds a bit silly, but it is actually a really nice place. And yeah, just working with like actual industry based people. So I think a lot, if you're just, you know, a teacher who's not actually been in the industry or worked with elite level athletes, might not have that kind of understanding, or might not be able to use the same like phrases or words that now I've gone on to hear in, you know, in offices and meetings and stuff like that. So I think, you know, the actual appliedness of the actual applied environment is really what sets it apart from, you know, other colleges and different pathways going forward.
Would you come back if, in terms of if you could do your time again, would you do it again?
Yeah, I'd do it again, definitely. I'd probably try a bit harder. Should have been
Too busy with football.
Exactly, but yeah, so I'd definitely come again. I could definitely recommend it as well to people coming through.